Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. For centuries, we fought a war against them. We poisoned them, trapped them, and shot them. We saw them as monsters, rivals, and vermin. Wolves, bears, great cats, the world's great predators. We drove them from their lands until their howls and roars were nothing but echoes in the oldest stories. And then, we changed our minds. We decided to bring them back. And in one of the greatest conservation victories of all time, we succeeded. But what happens after the victory parade? What happens when the wild animals we fought so hard to save come back? Today, we're exploring the conservation paradox, the story of a success so profound, it has created a whole new world of conflict. The scale of this comeback is genuinely astonishing. Let's start in the United States. By the mid-20th century, the gray wolf was gone from almost all of the lower 48 states. Then, in 1995, in a landmark decision, 66 wolves from Canada were reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park. From that tiny seed, a population of nearly 3,000 wolves has bloomed across the West. It's a similar story for the grizzly bear. By 1975, fewer than 1,000 were left. Today, there are over 2,000. Across the Atlantic, in the crowded, ancient landscapes of Europe, the comeback is even more dramatic. The wolf population has exploded to over 21,000 individuals, with packs established in 23 different countries. Brown bears are returning to the Alps and Pyrenees. This was hailed as a monumental win for the planet. The return of these apex predators promised to heal ecosystems. The most famous example was in Yellowstone, where wolves hunted elk, which stopped the elk from overgrazing willows, which allowed beavers to return, whose dams created new habitats for birds and fish. It was a perfect, beautiful story. Bring back the predators, and you fix everything. But as these animals began to move beyond the boundaries of national parks and into the places where people live and work, that simple, beautiful story started to get very, very complicated. This is where the paradox begins. The success of the revival ignited a fresh wave of conflict. Let's look at the wolf in the American West. That simple story of wolves fixing Yellowstone? Well, 2 decades of research shows it's not that simple. Drought, human hunting, and other predators like bears also played a huge role. The idea of wolves single-handedly changing the course of rivers was a powerful myth, but it was a myth. And that matters, because for the ranchers living nearby, the wolf isn't an abstract symbol of a healthy ecosystem, it's a direct threat to their livelihood. While wolves are responsible for less than 1% of total livestock losses, that number is deeply misleading. The cost isn't spread out, it's concentrated on a few families who can lose everything. And it's not just about the animals that are killed. The constant stress from wolf presence can cause cattle to lose weight and have lower pregnancy rates. The conflict has become a proxy war for the cultural divide between urban and rural America, a fight over values, identity, and who gets to decide the future of the West. This has led to endless political battles over whether the wolf should remain a federally protected endangered species or be managed by the states, which have often instituted aggressive hunting seasons to reduce their numbers. Then there's the grizzly bear. If the wolf conflict is about economics, the grizzly conflict is about something more primal, fear. As grizzly populations expand out of their core habitats, they are bumping into people more and more. While fatal attacks are incredibly rare, they are terrifying and highly publicized. This creates a climate of anxiety, and just like the wolf, there's a political stalemate over delisting the grizzly from the Endangered Species Act. States say the bear is recovered, and they need the flexibility to manage conflicts. Conservationists say the populations are still too isolated and need federal protection to ensure long-term genetic health. The courts have sided with the conservationists, leaving the grizzly in a strange limbo, successful enough to cause conflict, but too fragile to lose protection. And this isn't just an American problem. In Europe, where there's almost no true wilderness left, wolves and bears are thriving in landscapes shared with humans. The conflicts are the same: livestock losses, competition with hunters, but they play out across international borders. The success has been so great that the European Commission itself is now proposing to lower the wolf's protection status to allow for more management, proving that this paradox is truly a global phenomenon. So if bringing predators back was the first, surprisingly successful step, what's the next one? The new frontier of conservation is one word: coexistence. This isn't about finding a magic bullet, but about building a toolkit of solutions. On the ground, this means using practical, non-lethal methods. Think of livestock guardian dogs, like the Great Pyrenees, bred for centuries to live with and protect flocks. It means using modern electric fencing to secure animals at night. It means reviving the old practice of range riders, humans on horseback who patrol with herds, creating a presence that deters predators. And critically, especially for bears, it means managing our own behavior, using bear-resistant garbage cans, cleaning up fallen fruit, and securing animal feed. Then, there are the financial tools. Most places have programs to compensate ranchers for animals killed by predators, but these are often slow and don't cover all the costs. So new ideas are emerging. Some programs offer payments for presence, rewarding landowners just for having predators on their land. The goal is to make a live wolf or bear more valuable than a dead one. This ties into promoting the economic benefits of predators through wildlife tourism, ensuring that the money flows back to the local communities who bear the costs. But the biggest challenge isn't technical or financial, it's human. It's about bridging the cultural divide. This requires moving away from top-down government decisions and toward collaborative groups where ranchers, conservationists, hunters, and local officials can all sit at the same table to find local solutions that work for them. It means recognizing that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The return of the great predators is a story we should celebrate. It proves that nature is resilient and that our efforts can make a difference. But it also forces us to face a difficult truth. Conservation doesn't end when a species is saved from extinction. The real work begins when we have to learn how to live with them. The conservation paradox shows us that it's easy to love a wolf in a faraway national park. It's much harder when that wolf is near your home, your farm, your family. The perspective of the city dweller, who sees a symbol of wildness, and the rancher who sees a threat to their legacy are both valid. Moving forward means leaving behind the simple, romantic idea of a perfect balance of nature and accepting the messy reality of a shared world. The howls and roars returning to our landscapes are not just a sound of victory, they are a question being asked of us. What is our relationship with the wild? Can we learn to share this world? The answer will define the future, not just for them, but for us. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.